So this is going to be a kind of difficult video for you to grasp because there is a good chance that probably about 99% of you will not be able to use this video. And the 1% that would be able to do this video probably already do it. This is a video on autoing a gate of Whimsey. Now, there are two main ways to auto a gate of Whimsey. You can either just auto everything except the super gate, or you can auto everything, including the super gate. Autoing everything but the super gate is so much more manageable and feasible that that's all I'm going to bother with. Maybe if we get an event where we have someone like Hangetsu, who existed back in like the beginning of, what was it, 5? She was really good for grinding supers, but we haven't had anyone even nearly as good as her for that, so yeah, it's really just, grinding gates is hard, okay? It's a very case-by-case scenario. If we look at this specific team, this is my normal clearing team. Nekomata right here has, isn't it Easy Link and Afterfill? Neither of those are good for getting his Soultimate up for the first time. Afterfill is nice the second time, but it would rather have something like Drop Big. And then Asu's an attack booster. The best character for it is the dang paid Pat character, Double Time. No, it's Speedy W. It's Speedy W. Speedy W is a, I think he's either a center popper, but whatever it is, he's got the skill where after he uses his ultimate, it has a chance to heal 10% of the team's HP. Healing is one of the most important things in Gates of Whimsies, and is the main reason why you won't be able to. Now, as you can see here, I've got two additional emulators open right here. These are what's known as HP alts. Basically, because you have a universal HP pool, your HP carries over every time you beat a stage. So you need to have some sort of method to get your HP back. And that's what these are for. So let's just go ahead and start with the normal setup. The actual setup you're going to need. So let's suffer as we do this. So Rubius J right here is the Ypoint bonus. And he's also just he's usable for this since he's an extreme popper. It's not preferred to use his Soultimate, but I mean, no one else here has a good enough Soultimate, so yeah. Goku Noko, you might not always be able to fit him in, but this time we can, which is a nice 5 extra Y points. If I didn't bring him and brought someone like, I don't know, Speedy W, and I just had all 3 normal bonuses, I wouldn't even have to worry about many HP alts at all. Maybe like 1 emulator's worth. I'm not going to buy Speedy W, and I want to prove that you don't need him. Nekomata right here is the main attacker because he's a center popper, has a normal bonus, and has Afterfill and Easy Link. Asu is mainly here for defense bonus, but if you want to buy Speedy W, you can replace Asu and instead have both Nekomata and Speedy W be spammed. So that way you have a nice amount of defense. You heal with Speedy W in this case. It's pretty nice. And then right here we have this Ginga Excellency. Her Soultimate does not matter because we're not going to use it, but her skill is both bonus balls and revive. So because we have both Rubius and Excellency to revive, if the revive triggers and the auto happens to use Rubius' Soultimate, we'll still be able to survive and then potentially do Nekomata's. And then over here we have the Treasure Gate clearing team. This is just like 2 pre-fill characters, Kyogetsu and Blizaria, and then I just have this Blizaria just for fun. And then we have the 2 Y-Point bonuses, so pretty cool. If you have a Retinado, then I'm not sure where you'd fit him on the team. It's kind of easier to just not, so big L. And as you can see, I have nothing to do with the super room because I'm not going to bother clearing the super room. So let's go ahead and open up this. So there is a crap ton of stuff in here. I did not make this. Barone made this. Big shout out to Barone for sending me this so that way I can explain it to you. He actually even has like a little document, Google document. I'll leave it in the description. It kind of just like explains why we do certain things. Because like, I can't really quite explain it. I can simplify it, but I can't explain like the specifics exactly. So we have a normal gate here. We have a throne clear, which I don't use. I just use stage 45 to clear. Then we have a treasure room. And in order to differentiate, like for in this specific example, on my treasure gate, I have these 2 soul slots being spammed, but on the normal, these 2 slots are being spammed, but on the treasure, these 2 slots are being spammed, which I could just have it use the pause button to just spam these 2 souls and then just move Blizaria here. We'd actually get more stats, but I'm too lazy to do that. And so it's looking for the like actual border of the watch to differentiate which Soultimate slots it wants to be trying to spam. So that's pretty neat. It's kind of just like normal like grinding stages. Like you have the condition to click stage 45 when it goes over to the gate thing. It'll click it. It'll click all the gate stages. It kind of just like takes a little bit to set up because you have to actually like encounter them at first, and then like for the treasure rooms you have to get to, I think it's treasure 6. That's when you start having the 3 stages, and then stage like 25 maybe is when you start getting all 4 normal gate stages. Bosses are the same, and then super treasures are the same, so that's nothing to worry about. I think these are just like copy pasted from like previous ones. It says Yokadori, but that's the gate. So then we have like the news thing. If you lose, it has a condition, and stuff like that. If the login stamp appears, it'll close it. Gate of Whimsies tell you like, oh, you can't use healing Soultimates, and you just like tell it like to screw off. Same thing with the treasure rooms. If you access a heal, like if one of your alts heals you, it can survive that no problem. Random error, if like something just like pops up for some reason, like I don't know, network, it can fix that. There's like 2 different kinds of errors. There's like a network error and then some other kind of error, but they're both basically just the same thing. You got like messages like you've already cleared the stage in case it accidentally hits a stage you've already cleared. It's not that difficult. It's just team clearing, and then like there's like a ton of conditions to do. If Puni somehow crashes, it can open it up, but I don't know, it just hasn't happened. If you get to the title screen after it starts, it can like actually just like restart itself. So it's a little difficult, but let's go ahead and just get it started. So we're going to start at stage 45. We're just gonna turn it on. It's going to beat it. It'll only start it if it's on team 7, and if it's not on team 7, it'll switch to team 7. So this team isn't like made to beat this stage super fast, which it doesn't need to be. So it's going to be only using their G salts, which is pretty cool. So we'll look for the G salts right here. So it won't actually spam their salts, but once it gets to one of their G salts, it'll just use it. So if we look around, I don't know where exactly it is, because again, I didn't make this. Oh well, it's right here. Okay, here. So as you can see, it says like hard gates. I personally took out the hard gates and replaced it with the normal gate. So this one is looking for the GOK in the left slot, which is Nekomata's slot. And then the far left is looking for the one in Rubius's slot. So you do need to have all of these characters like as high a level as you can get. You don't need to quite max them out if you don't need it. It really depends on your box, what sort of perma bonuses you have. A bunch of stuff like that. So we're going to just keep beating this stage over and over again until it gets us a Gate of Whimsey. So we have the bonus balls from Excellency, so pretty nice. We have her specifically, not only because of the revive being nice, but it also gives these 2 a little bit extra unity, so Nekomata does more damage, and Rubius does more damage, so very nice. And so once we beat this and go through all the motions and stuff, it'll hopefully, it'll start to spawn us this. Then it'll click it, start the thing, go through all that. We'll go through the animation. Ooh, and then we're here in normal 35 because I've already beaten them all. It'll close this, and then it will start the stage. But we're going to pause it for now because we need to talk about the healing alts. These 2 have the same exact config, so just be patient. So it has a condition to click open the portal, and then I need to turn it on. So we'll turn it on right here, and it's going to basically just get the lowest alt. Basically, the way that like save files work, your most recent save will go up to the top, and then the second most recent will be under it, and then the least recent will be there, and it'll basically just like rotate. And so basically, you have 3 alts sending you 10% HP each run. Oh yeah, I should probably let this go. So it'll close this. It might accidentally open up the inbox, but it can close it itself. So just like that. Then it'll open up this after a little bit. It's not super fast, but it doesn't need to be. Then it'll send you HP. If anything has HP, that yellow button will be up at the top and it'll press it. So you actually can have friends add your HP alts, and then you'll be known as a legend in the Puni community because you have HP alts. So then once it opens up this menu, it'll swipe. I think what it looks for the Crankakai right here. I can actually like pull it up right here. That's the wrong thing. So if we go to swipe 1, it's looking for the Crankakai button. So then it will swipe, and then anywhere on screen, if this exists, yeah, anywhere on screen, it will tap it and then it'll go through the whole prompt. So that's pretty cool. Then once it hits here, I think it looks for this level 5 ID up here. So if we go to switch account, yeah, it looks for the level 5 ID up here. Doesn't matter if what sort of rank you are. And then once it has that, it looks for this up here, and then it presses in this position. But for example, if you have like in this specific example, I'll go ahead and start it up. Let it get the heal off. That's pretty cool. Very nice. So the heals won't actually proc unless you're like just floating around in the map or once you beat the actual gate. So if your auto is fast enough, it won't actually like trigger the heals. So it'll open up this save, but if for example someone's playing on that save and you only want to use 2 ults, you can actually just move the click position to be the middle one, and then they'll be looping around like that. So it loses the gate. So I've actually like updated this one so that way it can do it just on a normal gate, since I mean this one's not going to be autoing, so that's cool. So then we're going to start this one back up. It'll click this, then it'll start it, and as you can see, they're basically just going to loop HP forever. They'll tap that, tap this, as you can see, same thing over here. Get this, and every time that you get one of these heals on one of your alts, you'll get one of those little boxes right here. So as you can see, I can just click this here, and as you can see, it's got like a crap ton of boxes, which is very nice. So if it sees that it's already done it, then it'll just back out, and then it'll just keep looping over and over again. And so we can then start this back up. So we can just let this keep going until it gets to the boss, which we won't actually have to change anything. I'll just have to explain why we're having to have all of these HP alts. So nothing can damage us with this specific setup. Like literally the only thing that can hurt us is the normal boss. Since we're not doing the super rooms, it doesn't matter. And that's actually just like a free heal room, but it just wastes 30 minutes of time, which sucks obviously. But none of these can heal. Like even though we're not getting Soultimates, because these two have damage bonuses and these things just have like literally no HP. It's very easy, even if you're not like doing actual souls, to just like use, you know, the Puni itself, because the Puni themselves even have high damage. It can just clear super duper fast. And even if they do hit, it does like 1% of your HP, which usually isn't going to make any sort of difference. So there's these 3 stages, which is just some easy Y points right here. And then they get like more and more enemies, which is like, whatever, we're already done with it. So these ones you can like easily auto. If you, for example, you can't get HP alts because your just computer isn't powerful enough or you don't have enough things, then you can just auto this and then manually do the boss and then auto everything else. I actually used to do that before I started doing. I've literally like just started autoing the gates like this like now. So I've only just learned how to do this. So I'm not a perfect explainer. So now we're going to basically just spam Puni, hope for some good bonus ball RNG, and eventually get Nekomata and Rubius J's Soultimate. So we'll get Nekomata first, which is a center popper. He does a very slight heal, but it doesn't actually mean anything. If we dodge a counter, it's so nice, bro. So then we're going to EX pop, which you might think we would want to do first, but since Nekomata has afterfill, it actually helps us get his Soultimate faster. So then once we do Nekomata's Soultimate, it'll be strong enough, hopefully, to kill. Just barely not. But then we can just pop Puni, and then we're fine. So even if, like, we do die, we have the double revive, so we'd have, like, 1700 HP or something like that. So pretty nice. So once we beat the stage, since we haven't procced the heals from the HP alts, we're going to go from a measly 15% HP to 75% HP because the 6 alts are healing me. So that's very, very nice. And sadly, we don't get another gate. So now it's just going to start stage 45 again, and then eventually it's going to get back to the gate. So I'll just come back when we get back to the normal boss, because that's really the only interesting thing. Because, I mean, here, this doesn't matter, and then the stages before the boss also don't matter. Alright, so we're back. We've just beat the 3rd stage on the normal thing, and we're still at 76% HP. We are not at full HP. So there is a little bit of RNG on whether or not you would actually be able to win. If you can't win, then after you lose, you'll have to make a condition that, you know, checks that, oh, you lost. And then once you get through that, you'll get the heal. So then you'll be able to instantly retry. So as you can see here, we get Rubius. We'd actually dodge another counter, which is pretty cool. Sadly, lose all those bonus balls, but I mean, there's nothing you can really do about it. Then we get Nekomata, and hopefully we'll be able to get another Nekomata before Rubius tries to proc again. We're going to be able to maintain combo, thankfully, so we should actually just get the kill. Nope, sadly not. But as you can see, we were revived right here with 1585 HP, so we actually do get a little heal from where it would have been. So the double revive is pretty dang nice. So definitely make sure you max out your revive skill characters, max out Nekomata's Soultimate, get him high level. If you got him to level 80, he probably would have just killed right there. Max out his G a little bit. I think mine's G2. Ruby's is G3, so that's pretty cool. We get a heal to 79%, and now we're up, and we opened up another gate. Hopefully it's a treasure, and it's a boss. So this is basically just like a pit stop, but all it's going to do for me is look for this, and then just tap here. And it's basically just going to stall until this 30 minutes passes. So kind of a shame. I waited for the treasure room raid up to appear, but boss gate still can appear, which kind of sucks. So I'll see you guys in 30 minutes when this goes by and I can show you it doing the treasure rooms. All right, so the time has ended. Now, when I said that you just have to like wait around to get a heal, I really meant you have to like move the map. And so there we go. Now we're at 100% HP, and now we have to get back to the normal gate. So BRB, I guess. All right, so we're back at the normal gate. Normal boss time. I'm at 100% HP, so obviously I win. Like, unless something really, really goes wrong, which I don't know what would. It's very easy. It's really only, like, kind of sketchy when you're at, like, 70% HP. That's when it's kind of a little bit more, tedious to do, but we're going to get Nekomata, then we're going to get a Boobiest J Salt, and then we're going to do Nekomata again. And if that doesn't kill, we'll just barely not kill. So yeah, now we're just going to pop Puni. We're actually going to get Rubius J Salt first, which means that we're actually going to be able to trigger the revive. And now that we have a little bit more HP than we would have, Rubius kills super easily. Cool. Hopefully we get the treasure gate, I hope. That would be pretty nice. Pretty neat and all that. And do we get it? We are back at 79% HP. Very nice. Extra Y money. Cool. And we get nothing. So what I'm going to do is actually just leave and then come back in 7 hours. Be about 11 p.m. my time. And we'll just see how many Y points I get. So, yeah. Come back to that, I guess. Before we get started with, like, just autoing for a while, I want to show off the treasure gate because I actually was playing a game with someone and then I just happened to catch this, so I started recording it. So once we get to treasure room 1, you'll see that it hits the team button, switches to team 6, and then just goes on. It, does its own thing. It's very nice. Since team 1 isn't really made to do fast clears, it switches to team 6 to get really fast clears since it doesn't need to worry about preserving HP. And it just wins. It doesn't take any damage. It's very nice. I specifically chose Kyogetsu and Blizzaria because they both have drop big, and getting either one of their Soultimates will be powerful enough to finish off any boss. Except for the last one. The last boss will have to take 2 Soultimates, but because they don't counter, and since it's only one boss, it doesn't really matter. And so now that we're here at the 3rd boss, we actually get the heal, which doesn't make a difference because we're not going to take damage anyway. So, doesn't matter when the heal procs in the treasure room because we win anyway. So we get, doesn't matter if we get Blizzaria or Kyogetsu first, because once one fires, the other one will fire shortly after, which will easily get us a win, which is very nice. So, also I forgot to mention, every time you clear one of these rooms, whether it be normal treasure or super treasure, you'll get these reward boxes. I completely forgot to mention that earlier. So if like you'll see right here, I think I get like 80 Y points from one of these. Well, yeah, I do. I got Y points. So yeah, very nice. So we're back. It's actually 1:30 when I record this. I accidentally had myself muted, but I didn't do it for an hour and a half because my computer started being all funky when I was trying to play a game, and I just had to restart it, and I didn't feel like turning it back on instantly. So yeah, as you can see, I've actually gained quite a bit of Y points. I can't tell exactly how much, but I think it was about 7K maybe. And then in my inbox, which I didn't check in this video, I actually got an additional 2.4K. Now this was during the treasure room rate up, so this is actually more Y points than you would get normally. But if you beat the event and you don't feel like grinding it, and you have a powerful enough computer to be able to auto, I forgot to mention that, like, yeah, you need a pretty powerful computer. Probably 16 gigabytes, but if you have 32, that's way better. So, like, of RAM, my bad. So, if you can auto a gate, it is definitely worth it because extra Y points are extra Y points. And, yeah, that's kind of all I have to show for you. And, hopefully you can do this. Yeah.